picks were a little, some of them were odd. Some of the bans were a little bit odd as well, like Fiora and Malzahar, kind of like strange.
By Dynamic or Marn?
But by both, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Zion Spartan's played Fiora. I think we saw him play Fiora maybe once. I know that Darian's played Fiora some for M5. So, you know, if he plays Fiora, then Fiora can just be absolutely disgusting to play against. So, I mean, that definitely makes sense if that's the case. Malzahar, if someone, you know, plays Malzahar, then yeah, I could understand bending it out.
And one of the big things too that it was actually in fashion not too long ago was to actually have Malzahar and Warwick, which is, you know, the double suppress comp, which, you know, in some comps actually worked really well.
Well, some EU teams ran that. I think that Absolute Legends may have been one of the teams that ran that. I can't really remember. Maybe Millennium or something. Oh, Against All Authority. I think they ran a double support at one point, or a double suppress.
But you know, Pantheon actually going to be the last ban out from Dynamic, so still some oddballs. But I think Marn is absolutely right, though. Banning out the Nidalee, that was a huge problem for him.
Well, and the big thing is Zion Spartan, it's not just the Jace versus Nidalee matchup. Zion Spartan will play Nidalee against any top laner, and you know it can be a nice matchup for Nidalee in most cases. There are a lot of laners that Nidalee just doesn't have enough damage or, you know, harass or whatnot to deal with, but in most situations, Nidalee can control the lane against most characters.
So still contemplating the first pick for Dynamic here. They could grab the Janna once again here, or the Nunu even, just to try and set their strategy in motion too. Don't want to be telegraphing to Marn too much about what they want to do.
Yeah, I honestly would make a pick and say that they're going to pick something like Nocturne, since he's really strong, or they're going to pick something like, you know, Corki or Nunu. But I have no idea what Dynamic's going to go with in this situation.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's like the white Airheads. It's a mystery
they are a mystery
flavor.
They're delicious, though.
Oh, very much so. The mystery makes them that much better.
Gonna go with the Nunu here. So first pick Nunu for Dynamic.
Oh, Sona. They swapped it up last second.
Oh, hey, there she is.
Yeah, support makes sense, you know, for the first pick in this situation. Nunu, you know, definitely worked out well. Nunu can control the bot lane very easily. But Sona, if they know that they aren't going to have to deal with that much harass or anything from Marn, then Sona's teamfight potential is absolutely ridiculous later in the game.
But also keep in mind what Team Marn was actually doing last game is they did a lot of pursuing.
Yeah.
They did a lot of chasing, you know, and to a certain extent were actually somewhat successful.
Yeah,
but
that's
that
true.
Sona ult, though, can shut that down completely.
Yeah, and they are actually running that same Gangplank potentially. So, that is the big thing. It's the movement speed to counteract the raised morale from Gangplank, allow you to disengage a little bit more easily. They won't have the Janna passive, so that's kind of a shame. But, or I mean, they could still. If they go mid. They could still go AP Janna mid. Yeah. So, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think the lane matchup is kind of interesting because both Sona and Gangplank have a lot of harass. You know, Sona with her Q and her power chord, she can just exchange easily with anyone, but then she also has the heal, which Gangplank doesn't have, and Nunu didn't have in the last game. So having that heal allows you to control the lane pretty easily.
Oh, has Darius been re-enabled?
I don't know. I thought he was banned. Like, they had the announcement on the main page that he was banned. If you guys haven't seen the video of the Darius pull back into the fountain.
That's just rude. But some of those setups were just absolutely silly to me. But you know, yeah, it's still pretty close to patch day. You know, things are, you know, still bound to pop up, but it seems like he has been re-enabled. So I hope things have actually been fixed. He is back in the pool here. But Orianna being grabbed up for Dynamic this time around. Shyvana being considered.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, it is a really nice AoE team right now. Shyvana is a very, you know, easy jungler, you know, to be honest, but I don't know, she's just a solid jungler overall. She's a control jungler. A lot of people have been kind of using Shyvana. She's dropped out of competitive play for a while, but having that AoE up front will be extremely tanky. It actually combos particularly well with Orianna because Orianna can shield the Shyvana. They dive in, have the Shyvana ult, the Orianna ult, the Sona ult, all on top of each other. So that will be kind of interesting. But actually, Marn swapping it up, so they're going to be running a Vladimir potentially. Excuse me. And Fiddlesticks as well. That would be kind of unusual.
Fiddlesticks, I mean, right now, clg.na is the one picking him up. He may not actually be the one ending up with him, but could be a mid Fiddlesticks. it could be a jungle Fiddlesticks. May actually have Gangplank actually go top lane instead and have Fiddlesticks support. It's been a while since I've seen that. Who is I can't remember the team.
Yeah,
M5.
M5's the only one that I can think that's run Fiddlesticks support, but it has been done, and they won. It was M5 versus TSM. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. But I think it'll probably be a Vladimir top, and they'll have to decide based on these picks, because Vladimir could sustain pretty easily in that mid lane and just control that lane, and Vladimir is potentially going against Akali, so Akali does very well against Vladimir, so we'll see whether or not they want to have that matchup. Fiddlesticks jungle is a lot of fun, though. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but they have a ridiculous AoE team. Fiddle's Fear is just insane. It's a 3-second disable later in the game. And, having all of that AoE is definitely nice. I actually know some old Fiddle players back before they changed Baron, where you could do 15-minute Fiddlestick solo Baron pretty easily. And they used to do that a lot in ranked games.
That just sounds so wrong on every single level.
No, it's insane. All you need is blue buff, maybe a thorn mail or some sort of armor. You can just get a chain vest or something. Will of the Ancients back when that was big, and then just a little bit more damage, and you could do it.
Yep. Now, why exactly is it that we don't see Fiddle in the jungle too often anymore?
Well, the big thing, and what has been Fiddle's issue all the time, has been his jungling speed. And, now that they have the jungling, before the jungling changes, you could kill, 1 or 2 camps and get quick levels. And it wasn't that big of a deal. Your Drain, it allows you to stay at full health through the jungle. It allows you to kill, like, 1 minion very quickly. The issue is you don't have a good AoE clear. His silence was changed a long time ago to benefit that. But even so, against a lot of AoE clearers, he just can't have that same jungling speed as others do. So we'll see, how that's going to work here. I think that he still has some potential. I think there's also concerns about how tanky he is early game. And I don't know, to be quite honest, I think people might underestimate him a little bit. But against more aggressive early tank jungles, he needs a lot more items, and he needs a little bit of help in the jungle. Like if you were to play like a Mundo or Shyvana in this case, and just really aggressively counter jungle Fiddlesticks and gank all around the map, Fiddlesticks would not be able to do anything about it. And that's the big thing. It's that feeling of helplessness. Fiddlesticks, you're not in control of your own destiny when you're playing Fiddlesticks through a small portion of the game.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but you do also have Shyvana on Dynamic, who, if given the opportunity, though, as always, one of Shyvana's biggest strengths has been counter jungling. If Fiddle's not up to speed, that could hurt. That could hurt a lot.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. So we'll see how that's going to kind of work out. I'm kind of excited to see these lane matchups though, because instead of Vladimir top, as we were kind of wondering whether Vlad would be top or mid, Vladimir is going down into the mid lane. So Vladimir versus Orianna, he can do very well in that lane. Orianna has really nice harass, so Vladimir's going to have to watch out for that. But generally speaking, Vladimir should be safe. Orianna, it's going to be a little bit difficult for Orianna to get those kills. You need to hit that ult combo, but then Vladimir can just pull out of it. So no big deal. So we'll see how that'll work. But then actually sending Xin top. So Dynamic, I think they expected Vladimir to be in the top lane. And Akali versus Vladimir, Akali, you can farm pretty safely if you use your Shroud early. And then once you have a little bit of damage, you can zone Vladimir. Once you have your ultimate in particular, you can chase him down and try and pick up kills. So you always want to have burst damage dealers against Vladimir. Instead, they actually send Xin Zhao, which is interesting because Akali will have more control in the early levels. Whenever Xin tries to come in for minions, Akali can just sit there and hit him in the face, just constantly spam that Q, and I don't know, then have that damage potential later. But I'm curious to see how much damage potential Xin Zhao can deal out, and if he can exchange well with Akali.
Actually, I was thinking about those exchanges, and I'm wondering too, because now Xin, he's been improved. He has that new passive on him, which actually does the little mark over who you're last attacking. Can you actually see that through stealth? Like if he attacks Akali and she goes into a Shroud, would she be revealed?
No, I don't think so. I don't know the interaction, but I don't know. That would kind of suck.
It would.
I don't think that would happen. That would be unusual to me. I would be very surprised if it revealed stealth. That just that interaction wouldn't make sense. And there's a lot of other buffs that give damaging effects, like hemorrhage or red buff or anything like that, and you don't see those through the stealth. So I really don't think that would happen. So we'll see how that'll work. I'm really curious at the damage output though, and I think it might have. I don't know. I'm curious if Akali is going to have to start off with cloth armor. just to deal with the Zin. I think she'll start off with boots, but if she'll have to get a fast cloth armor at some point in time, maybe get Ninja Tabby to avoid some of that damage.
Who did we saw Zin last night too, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was against like a Vladimir or something. No, it was against Darius. It was Zin versus Darius. It was TSM Evo versus Orbit.
Game 1.
Okay, there you go. So TSM Evo versus Orbit. And I think it was Wings of Death playing Zin. And actually, the first couple of levels, he was crushing Darius. Like, his damage output was incredible. He was just able to dive right on top of Darius. When he hit the pop-up, he would take Darius down to, like, half health. But then Darius actually got some team support, got that back up for those ganks. And then Zin can't clear out ganks very easily. So that is an issue. And as a result, they were able to pick up kills, snowball Darius back into that lane.
Yeah, he has great engage, fantastic engage with a charge. But disengage... completely different story, unfortunately. But hey, we're going to see how he actually performs here. You got the Fiddlesticks into jungle. MRN, once again, going for the Gangplank support and looking for the Vlad mid. Kali top, not someone you see too often. And I think really the Sona pick is really going to work well here. Because it's still, once again, this is kind of like a pursuit team that MRN is running. You have Zin with the charge. Vlad can try and cover ground with the pool. Not running Ghost, though.
Yeah, so we'll have to say Ghost is a very common pick on Vlad, but I think a lot of that has to do with the top lane. In the mid lane, it's a much shorter lane, so you don't need that movement speed to get end to end from one tower to the next. So just being able to flash back under tower is going to be enough. Flash will be strong in the fight. So we'll see how that's going to work. I wish we actually taken a look at the Fiddlesticks Runes of Masteries, I realize, but we can still look at the stats and see how he's kind of starting, because I'm curious. He's actually starting with the Dorans, so this is one of the common builds or paths that you used to be able to do on Fiddlesticks. You would start off at your own golems, and you would run golems, wraiths, wolves, blue, and then you could just jungle forever. And you start off with Dorans and some early armor and magic or ability power and stuff. But with the new jungle, there's no reason to do that. You just don't level off fast enough from those small creeps. So he's clearly going to be starting off with blue. But even so, I guess he's got some nice mana regen, some nice ability power as well.
Yeah, starting out with a base 36 ability power.
Yeah.
So that's I would imagine though. Actually, we should probably take a look at that later on. It could actually
really
be a
high.
nice mix, probably like flat AP Quince and maybe AP per level blues. I'm thinking.
No, that's actually he's running all flat AP. If he has 36 for blues, you get 15 from the Quince. So you get 15 from the Quince. You can get like 5 from the Masteries at level 1, which means that he has to be running flat either yellows or blues. He might be running some AP per level also, but he's running a decent amount of flat.
Okay.
Which is unusual. I've never seen that before. AP per levels are a lot more standard.
Yeah, well, like what point does really the AP level? Because I know there's a certain level point where a lot of per level runes then surpass the flats. Is it I think it's around level 8 or so? Yeah,
it's something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it's not very quick. But what the big thing is, having the flats, in a lot of situations the per levels are better if you're going to get some quick levels. But having the flats, it helps out in situations like this where you're jungling. He needs that clearing speed. It'll help him with his silence, being able to just clear out the minion waves. It helps him with his drain. He can start off with the Dorans. He doesn't have to start off with boots or health pod or cloth armor or anything like that. So that's definitely going to be nice for his jungle.
So he's going to be starting out with the blue. Should be able to secure it without a whole lot of issue. But you're also going to see Atlanta here clearing out the red pretty quick. Level 2 gank possible?
Maybe. It's kind of tough to gank level 2 with Shyvana. I think the big thing is that he just wanted to transition up into the top lane so he can have double buff and be up top and ganking Xin Zhao. Actually, wow, 2 pro for you. One more attack almost going down. The flash is actually able to pick it up. So Zig grabs it. Nick Wu getting some damage, but there's the exhaust as well. The ignite onto Zig and one more attack onto Zig is able to pick it up. Pixel is in a dangerous situation now too. Along with the buckshot, he gets the double kill.
Wow. Wow. Very, very well done. The flash, the first blood gold. Here's the thing though, it's this. Now you look at that, it was first blood. Is it worth it?
Yes. No. Oh, right. Sorry. I was sitting there for a second and thinking if Graves was it worth it for Graves to get all those kills? Yeah, the first blood probably not worth it. Now, the big thing is that the support was the one that went down. Oh, actually, Zion Spartan, can he pick up the kill on the Xin? No, just barely. The ignite, can it tick?
Oh, wow.
The health pots with the passive regen from the W, and Fiddlesticks getting off the aggressive gank up top.
Very well done.
Really nice job. So the big thing is the support went down. So Nick Wu is way ahead right now. Zig is so far behind. And that's just going to be, when he goes back and buys, he can maybe buy 2 Dorans. Yes, he can buy 2 Dorans. So, that's just going to be such a dangerous, lane for Ash right now.
Or, even then, just, forget the 2 Dorans, stay in the lane for a little while longer, push your aggression, take the advantage you already have, and you can just save up, also just straight up buy a BF sword as well first time he backs. It's not too far out, actually.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. It would be unusual. But we'll have to see how he builds. I mean, there's benefits and drawbacks to going with the fast BF sword. And the big thing, you get into your main item build early, particularly if you transition into a Bloodthirster. That can be really nice. However, it does ruin, because you're kind of holding off for a second, it slows down the laning phase a little bit. And if you start off with like a double Dorans or start off with like a Brutalizer or a Phage, then you can use that early advantage to really abuse your lane. So we'll see what kind of route he decides to go. A lot of harass going through all the lanes. Gangplank actually getting some quick damage into Pixel. The quick draw as well. The exhaust onto Zig. They will back out of there. But actually, Gangplank getting a little bit too hasty underneath that turret. Does go down. Nick Wu taking some damage as well. And Sona can heal up Zig here.
Yeah, who got the credit for that? Ash got the credit for that one. So now it's still pretty even 2-2 in terms of kills for the AD carry. Zig is getting pretty low, though. But you got Trooper also looking to help. Paradoxical is leaving lane. A little bit extra harass in the meantime, but you also got Atlanta trying to get some damage on it. Nick will manage to just barely make it out of there. And clg.na now looking to get some harass, get some silence, shoot some crows your way. Be a little friendly.
Yeah, and both Xin and Akali are pretty low. Xin has a little bit more burst damage, and there he is diving onto Zion Spartan. One more attack, but he actually wasted on a minion, so Zion Spartan will be okay. He still has the health pots. But the big thing is that Zion Spartan, every time that Xin goes in, he can harass him. But Schuber, one more attack. Actually, the transfusion, they will go down. Schuber almost going down himself. He's going to be fine, able to pick up that kill. And Xin and Akali are dueling it in that top lane as well. But clg.na, in the meantime, the fear onto Zig. One more kill, and both games, this is so unusual to see so much damage. Pixel picking it up.
Pixel still managing to get the kill, but meanwhile, Zion Spartan needs to get back to the safety of the tower. One more attack. Flash from Cleeks manages to make it happen. And 2 pro for you. Now we're joining with Nick Wu. 2 Dorans and a Vamp Scepter. Actually, it's not. That's actually a pretty good pickup. Yeah,
no, that's solid. So because they're playing against Sona, they don't have regen. The Vamp Scepter allows them to constantly regen, so he's always going to keep himself high, which allows him to be a little bit more aggressive in fights. Then having the double Dorans, it allows him to be aggressive, try and pick up kills. The issue is that Ash has also gotten a couple of kills now, so she's actually going back to lane a little bit stronger than Graves. She has the Berserkers and the double Dorans, which is better for dueling, whereas Graves, will be a little bit better for sustain. So we'll see how that's going to kind of work out. I can't believe how aggressive both of these teams are. They're just running around. They're both just looking for kills constantly.
And this is I've seen this. I still watch like a lot of UFC from now and again, and some of the best matches are just the 2 guys. They don't know jack about any grappling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu or anything. They know how to fight. They just know how to straight up brawl, get in each other's face, and throw a bunch of punches. And this is definitely Dynamic and Marn doing that.
This is like MVC3 or like a fighting game version of LoL with just constant your button mashing right here. Chuber walking in though, gets some nice harass against Paradoxical. He will have to get out of there. Shyvana actually getting caught out a little bit by Fiddlesticks. Will have to back out of there as well. But Fiddle setting up for the mid lane.
He's coming around behind the target, going down onto Oriana. There's the Vlad ult, plus the Bear and the Drain. Silence and everything necessary. The Drain, the Flash is not enough to get out of that range, and clg.na grabbing that kill.
Yeah, really nice play. And now they can transition over to the Dragon, maybe even pick up the blue first, actually, because Fiddlesticks can clear out the Dragon very easily by himself if he has the blue. Some nice damage from Zig and Pixel. They have the harass advantage right now with the range that Ash has. The red buff on, Sona, that can never hurt. And, yeah, so that's definitely going to be pretty dangerous for them.
Why not? Pixel could just, build a Sheen. It's no big deal. Just, start building AD Sona. Why not? You got time.
Yeah, there's a guy that actually plays in solo queue, AD Sona, all the time.
Oh, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. Gangplank out in front, taking a huge chunk of that volley, saving Nick Wu just a little bit of damage, a little bit of time. Xin, Cleeks looking to push up top lane. Akali's not even 6 yet.
Yeah, that's true.
That.
In the meantime, though, Fiddlesticks is actually soloing Dragon, so Dynamic, they don't have any vision of it. They need to watch out there. Actually, they did drop a ward, so Shyvana walking up. He was actually in the center of the pit. The Ash arrow just scaring him off there. And so they're able to back off. But, yeah, that's definitely a constant pressure. Graves actually walking in. Actually, the ultimate. And Pixel, one more attack, gets the flash, but can't quite pick it up. He throws off the smoke cloud, is able to grab it. Zig is in a dangerous situation here, but should be able to retreat underneath the tower.
But still,
no, he's going.
The turret shot followed all the way down to the middle of the lane just to grab 2-pro for you, unfortunately. But here's the thing, though. Zig and Nick, they're still pretty low, and there's a little bit of aggression. Could actually manage another kill here. clg.na is actually wandering the long, super long way around to get to bot lane behind Zig. In the meantime, also taking the small golems as well. Here's the thing, though. If Zig's not careful, Fiddle can just come right from behind, and there he goes. Ward in the bush. Going to indicate that Ignite going down onto Nick Wu. Will he be able to get out of there to Fear? Just in time, but the minions may actually take that. He runs into the bush. It is still warded, though. But Nick Wu, can he actually sustain enough?
Yeah, he's got the Vamp Scepter. He's
good. He's good.
But, yeah, nice job from Fiddle.
Honestly thought the minions were going to take that.
Yeah, and clg.na actually ulting right on top of Shyvana. He uses the Fear as well. Atlanta taking a ton of damage, but not quite enough. He's actually able to get out of there. Soda trying to pick up the kill. The Drain keeping him alive, but there's the ultimate as well. Wow. And then Atlanta picking it up. He has the red buff, chasing down Gangplank. Gangplank, that's 3 deaths in a row. He goes down.
That sucks.
And the last 2 were just because he didn't understand the tower range, I guess. But that one, Shyvana coming up, has the movement speed to chase him down. Really nice play from Dynamic.
I thought that was going to be a little bit of a misstep too for Atlanta because he ulted like into the wall, but still managed to get it out there. And nice ult from Sona. Still top lane, Akali and Zin still going at it. The Shroud is gone, so Akali is exposed. Has now gotten the ultimate, can get those kicks down, but still though, just straight out brawls. There's the mark. Arrow coming up down through the mid though, but
the Ignite. I think he has it.
Oh, 30. No, yep, he's got it. The Ignite will do it.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting. We've been seeing in this matchup, Zin has the upper hand. So the regen, I think, is key. Having that regen versus Akali. Usually Akali likes to have that persistent harass, and the fact that she's manaless, just constantly spamming off the Qs. But because of the regen, Zin can kind of keep up there. Zig barely able to get back, so he's going to be fine. But the regen from his W, it allows him to keep high, and then every time he dives in after Akali, he just slowly wears her down, bit by bit.
Yep. Not to mention that mark, all that armor reduction. That's not too shabby either. So
no, that's definitely not.
It's not too shabby at all. But Dynamic now looking to prove their aggression here in bot lane. Parlay going off, quick shot down onto Sona. Ult is not back up yet for Pixel. Still has a little bit of time. Still has about a little bit over half a minute before that happens. Meanwhile, in the mid, you have Vlad with the ult down. Paradoxal straight out brawl. The Ignites may actually take up at the shield. No, will not be enough. Minions grabbing that one. But here you go. Fiddle and Atlanta here in the mid, dueling off.
Oh, well, yeah, they have it. Atlanta, actually, the Drain from clg.na chasing down Atlanta. He's actually going to go for the long-range ultimate, but there's the Atlanta ult to follow it up, just barely getting out of range. So he's able to back off. Really nice play. And, yeah, Paradoxical and Chuper just brawling here. And actually, Nick Wu jumping in with the ultimate on Pixel. They're able to pick up the kill, and now Zig is in a really dangerous situation.
Zig is exhausted, trying to run through the bush, trying to get the safety, trying to reduce as much vision as possible. But there you go. Nick Wu will be able to go ahead and finish that one up. clg.na also taking some time after scaring off Atlanta to just free farm a little bit in mid. Go ahead and push that wave up.
Crushing.
He's been doing really good. And, and also, I forgot too, lucky pick.
Yeah.
A lot of change, DFG without that passive mana regen, and we had to get the codex first, right? It was the Phoenix Codex? Yeah. They removed that part of the recipe, so now DFG is a lot more viable on a lot more champions. You know what? I think Fiddlesticks is definitely included in that.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I'll be excited to see if we see more Fiddlesticks.
The
arrow coming off. I think she was aiming for Gangplank if he was going to still tank that turret, but they can get that pretty easily, or maybe even try for the steal since the AoE gets it. Yeah. Paradoxical walking up on the Trooper, but he should be okay to get out of there. So a little bit of damage. clg.na's low on mana. No ults coming anytime soon, so they can back off.
I'm also noting how far Zin, how well he's doing, with this push, with this aggression, just forcing Zion Spartan to farm at tower, and it proves that is a 2-level lead right now that Cleeks has up against Zion Spartan. That is massive, especially against someone like Akali, who, if properly fed, can just go ahead and massacre team fights later on.
Yeah, and that's the big thing, that Akali needs to be fed to massacre team fights. Atlanta actually walking into clg.na, though, throws off the ultimate, is able to pick it up. He has the red buff, and actually the exhaust onto Nick Wu, the volley over the wall, the dash, dodging the Sona ultimate, and Atlanta, he's not actually able to pick him up.
But 2-Pro for he did get a little bit too far. He wanted to help so badly. Does get exhausted, but the flash from Zig. 1, 2. Sona grabbing the second one. Great coordination. Not quite sure why Nick was actually still hanging around there, though.
Yeah, no, it's just a little bit low, trying to help out his team. And they are able to grab this blue. But like you were saying, going back to the Akali thing, it is kind of interesting. Akali is a champion that she needs to be farmed. She needs to get those quick levels and whatnot in order to be effective in fights, because she's a burst assassin. And if you're going to be suiciding into the team, you need to know that you have the damage to follow up on it. Right now, she doesn't, because Xin has been able to shut her down in that top lane. And actually, the ult Chuper able to get the pull out of there. That's kind of wow. Don't count your chickens too soon, but
that's. How much damage does that do, actually?
Yeah, they buffed it a little bit. It's not a lot. It's not a lot of damage. It's
clearly
only like
enough.
150.
Clearly enough, though, to try and go ahead and get that harass at that kind of range, though.
Well, just slightly less than enough. Just a tad,
yeah.
A hair fraction less than enough.
A little bit more. And I'm sure right now that Paradoxical is probably wishing they just buffed it like another 10 damage. That probably would have gotten that kill.
Yeah. I mean, another 10 damage, and I don't know. We'd have to see how much that would affect Orianna in her laning phase. But Orianna, in the meantime, picking up the blue. She's going to be fine. clg.na has to back off. But the big thing is that top lane, 30 CS advantage, 3-0 for Xin. He has the Hex Drinker as well. So Akali just doesn't have enough harass damage. She has to farm from range. She has to just spam out those Qs for her harass.
And also, every kill equals up to about 20 creeps.
Yep.
So where it says it's about a 40 creep lead, that's really a lot more than that. Ult going down from Trooper down onto Paradoxical in chase. The Orb Resonation will go ahead and put that slow on the Vlad. Just stay back, dissuade him from that kill. But we'll still continue the farm in mid. Look to push the wave to the tower, try and deny even more farm for Paradoxical here.
Yeah, but Shyvana is making his way into this mid lane. He might try for some counter jungling, but we'll see if Atlanta comes in. He's actually just going to walk right up for him. So he wants Chuper. He ults right into him. He has the red buff as well. Paradoxical will be able to play safely back. Doesn't want to get a little bit too close. Doesn't matter, though. They actually just burst him down.
But there you go. The Gangplank ult, though, going down in bot lane. Zig is extremely weak, but Pixel is going to be caught out a little bit too far. Is going to stay back, try and keep Zig safe. But no, right now, Martin's actually changing their attention here. Manages to still get the kill down.
Nick Wu is very low, and Shyvana walking into the bottom lane, trying to pick up those kills. Will walk right up to him.
No.
Yes, there it goes.
Nice work from Atlanta. Nice work, having the knowledge to go in. Meanwhile, top lane, that's a lot of burst.
Yeah,
that's a lot of burst on Xin.
Getting that fast AD and being ahead on Xin, we'll have to see if Xin just sees a lot more play in the top lane, because that's kind of what it's looking like right now. It's kind of interesting. Xin, he used to be a really strong top laner against champions like Vladimir. That was a really common matchup for Xin, because you want those kind of killers. It's kind of like how Aurelia's played now. So back at that time, that was before Aurelia had still had the regen. But she wasn't as much of a killer. Now Aurelia is a little bit more of a killer. So it's having that diving potential. You just jump right onto your opponent, and then you can burst someone down. So that was kind of Xin's strength. So we'll see if that actually comes back into play, since he's one of the best regeners in lane now. Because he's the only one whose health regen hasn't been affected. He still has it on his W.
Not to mention, too, he has that change to his ult now. So if he really wants that kill, especially if he's in a situation like where he's being ganked, that's going to be so choice. That's going to be so nice to have.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to see how he kind of factors in. So we'll have to see. Paradoxical getting some rest on the Chuper, forcing him out of lane. I'm a little bit surprised that Chuper, Orianna is able to take control of this lane so effectively. Chuper is doing great. He's ahead of Orianna for the most part because he has the 2 kills. But even so, you're seeing a lot of harass from Orianna right now. But in the meantime, actually Xin chasing him down while Ashe is trying to chase down the bottom lane. But Xin, I think, has the upper hand. And there's the Ashe arrow on the Nick Wu. The quick burst, they pick it off. They're chasing down 2-Pro for you as well.
Paradoxical does go down in the mid in the meantime. Nice 3-man gank coming in from Marn. But the Ignite on the Gangplank flash over the wall. Zig will be able to capitalize and pick up that one. Meanwhile, you do have Zion Spartan putting down the Shroud, trying to get away from Xin. Nice little juke. We'll be able to get to safety. Yeah,
he just has to get out of there, but Xin was able to pick up the kill on Paradoxical, so nice job there. Atlanta chasing down Chuper, just getting some harass, but he's going to have to watch out for that fear. Akali is sitting off to the side, though, so I think, just trying to bait him in a little bit. Ashe and Sona actually getting some nice, pushing potential going on in this bottom lane. Can work with that, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious, how they're going to do, because right now the gold is even. but a lot of that gold is into Shyvana. So they have that upfront tanking power. They have, that great initiation, but then Akali is basically non-existent in this game right now. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
It's a little bit of an imbalance. She's a lot of an imbalance because right now Xin can just go ahead and just abuse top lane like you're seeing right now. Meanwhile, in the mid, you do have Vlad throwing down the ult down into Atlanta. clg.na did get a little bit from the ult, but that Orianna, that ult just did so much. And Atlanta,
wow.
Oh, I thought that turret shot was going
and
straight
then
in.
Turning away from the Gangplank ult.
That is a big obstacle course for Shyvana to go through right there to escape death.
And it's kind of interesting, by fighting at all portions of the map at the same time, both of these teams, they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. A lot of times, we'll see a lot more passive play, but one of the results of that passive play, Paradoxical, one more attack will go down. No, the Ignite has him anyway. And actually, Graves chasing after him a little bit. Ziggs turning back into him, misses the Ash arrow. That's very unusual. And so Nikwu is low, has to back off, but Zig could have the chasing potential to take down 2 Pro for you. He's trying to get out, but I don't think he has a fighting chance here. There's another volley. They pick it up. Sona actually taking it, and the Sona ult for the double kill.
Wow, wonderfully timed. I thought, again, like Nikwu, we saw this from him before. He sticks around a little bit too long, thinking that there's still an opportunity there to be made, and unfortunately, that's strike 2 for him there. But no, meeting up with Xin there in the jungle, Zig goes down really quick, but Trooper leading the charge. Atlanta is back full health, looking to try for a fight here, but Xin once again, Trooper, will you stay alive? No, unfortunately, you will not. clg.na also coming in through the back, waiting for fears, waiting for silences, waiting for something to try and turn this fight.
Yeah, and that's the fight to see, Xin versus Shyvana. Who comes out on top, since they're both the incredibly fed ones on their team. Both of them are 6-0 at this point. So we'll have to see how that factors. But it's really interesting. So a lot of times you'll see more defensive play, and then you have one area of the map at a time that you're fighting. And you're like, okay, both mid and our jungle, we're ganking top. We're trying to get a kill and try and push there and whatnot. But the constant aggression, one benefit of it is that you always know where your opponent is. By just constantly being aggressive all the time, you know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, this is a 2v2, and I see all other members of the team on the other side. The Ash arrow just barely missing clg.na. He will be able to get out of there. But you're like, okay, I've got a 2v2 here. I want to fight a 2v2. I see 3 other members on the map, so I know I'm good. I know that someone's not going to walk out of the bush and just, kill me there.
Meanwhile, though, you do have the Ash. You got the Hawk shot revealing a lot of Team MRN actually here over by their own blue. Dragon is up. Zig is alone. This could be really bad. Nikwu off in pursuit. Does get the flash. Gangplank ult to follow up as well. That is all the slow, all the damage you need the credit actually going to the Gangplank. But meanwhile, top lane, granted, yes, Xin Zhao is fed, but what he cannot fight is a 3v1. Atlanta going to go grab that kill, but clg.na actually could have taken the Dragon by his own.
Yeah, so they are able to grab that. Orianna will have to kind of watch out here for a second. Paradoxical can disengage very easily. That's one of the benefits of Orianna, having that movement speed, and then just constantly poke them. They're harassed from Gangplank, but they will be able to get out of there. But they are kind of low, and Shyvana, are they going for the Baron? I think they are. Yes, they are going for the Baron.
This is a pretty gutsy move right now, but here's the thing. For most of the game, Team MRN, they've been in the lead in terms of gold, but over time, because of the aggressive play, things have actually kind of shifted over to dynamic. There you go, Ward in the pit. Trooper knows, MRN knows, they got to get there fast, but it's not going to be there in time. The buff goes in. clg.na's a little bit late to the party, despite he has the skin to match it. Being popped for Pixel, wants to go ahead and close the gap and get the kill on a Trooper. Meanwhile, clg.na, he is in the back. Pixel's a little bit too far out. The pool going to keep him slowed. There you go, the kill will go to Nikwu. And he also got Zion Spartan here. In the meantime, Xin has joined the party. Can Dynamic do anything with his Baron buff? No, there you go. She got the kill for Xin Zhao. Zion Spartan still trapped in the Shroud. Should be leaving shortly. The kill goes down to Nick, and now needs to leave quick. No.
Yeah, but even so, they're able to pick up the Baron. Nice job there. They all completely evacuate once clg.na is coming in, so they didn't have to worry about the AoE. They're incredibly strong right now. Shyvana can control the front line, while Ash is just so farmed. We'll hold the back. I don't know. What's the gold total between Graves and Ash right now? Who's
That's
ahead?
A good question.
So they're basically dead even.
Between Graves and Ash, yes. It's about a little like 300 gold difference, but that's really just inconsequential at this point in the game.
So you see, all of the gold is in the AD carries and the frontline tanks. And I don't know. We'll have to see how that's going to factor in. But Orianna, she provides nice fight control, but Vlad has a lot more AoE damage. And the fact that with Vlad and Fiddlesticks combined, they just have massive amounts of AoE Gangplank as well, I think this could be setting up for a MRN victory in this game, despite the Baron buff. So they have to watch out for the Baron here. Another thing that Dynamic really has going for them is the initiation. They have the long-range initiation with Ashe. They get to kind of decide, along with Ashe and Sona, when and where fights are going to happen. But otherwise, they should be okay, unless things like this happen, because the arrow going into Gangplank, he is very low. He has to get out of there. But Xin crushing Zig in the backline. The Orianna ultimate, they're able to pick up a kill. Nick Wu is very low, but Xin is chasing down Paradoxical. One more attack, he's able to pick it up. Zion Spartan chasing into Trooper, but the pop-up from Xin, able to get his teammate out of there. And Nick Wu kiting Pixel beautifully, but not until then, when the power cord goes off, he's able to pick it up. And again, Cleeks is in so much control right now. The fear and the drain from clg.na as Cleeks chases after him. The Shyvana ult, but followed up from the Xin dash, but he's able to get out of there with the exhaust. Zion Spartan getting the burst damage, able to grab him, but now it's the 1v1 that we've been seeing all game. Xin versus Akali. The rest of his team is nearby still.
Xin Zhao versus the world at this moment. It's a 3v1 situation. Can he actually get a kill? Can he capitalize on anything here? No.
Oh, very close.
Not. But here's the thing, though. Shyvana still has the Baron buff.
Yeah.
Still has it. Does Zig still have it? No, he does not. So that's the thing, though. Granted, yeah, pretty much everyone from Dynamic died with the buff on, but you still have hope. You still have Atlanta pumping out so much damage, plus the regen, plus everything else that comes along with it. So even, granted, yeah, even if the entire enemy team doesn't have the Baron buff, it is still something that in many cases you want to wait out, wait till it expires. Granted, yeah, pushing objectives is not going to be as easy as if the entire team had it, but it's still a danger.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the case. So we'll have to see now that the Baron's down whether or not Marn can win the next fight even more so. But they need an answer for Xin, and I don't know if they have it. I mean, they have a lot of damage as a team, but they really need to just all focus down Xin, because he is almost going to be unstoppable at this point. He gets a lot of armor and magic resist from his ultimate as well. Zion Spartan trying to get out of there. He will be able to back off. And we'll see, if they can control this, if they, can maybe burst him down with an arrow or something.
Yeah, now I think about it, Zin's only 2 deaths have actually been in 1v3 situations. So if he can actually avoid those, I think he's actually going to be in a really good spot. But for the time being, though, a lot of Dynamic, they are split. You do have Zig in the bot lane. Was pushing, gonna recall just for a second.
Here's the issue, though. Going back, Xin is so strong. Even if they focus down Xin, they're going to have to deal with Vladimir, and they're going to have to deal with Graves, who is also extremely fed. So this really aggressive, just constant fighting play style that Marn has showcased, it's very unusual, but it puts them in a situation to succeed against an arguably, stronger team. They're, just able to constantly pick up kills, and it's even exchanges. Then they know that their late game is also very strong.
It's just a matter of getting there. That's the thing. If you have a strong late game, step one, you have to get there first. But you do have Vlad. He does have the components. He could actually go ahead and pick up his Abyssal right now. He does have the gold for it. There you go. In combination with the Fiddlesticks passive, that's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. But while he's off in town shopping, you do have the rest of the Dynamic. They're pushing pretty aggressive here. Zion Spartan is not with them, but once Trooper gets back in the mix, this could be a dangerous push.
Yeah, and the big thing that they need in order to take down Zig, the thing with the push, they are able to get that poke from Orianna. She's able to constantly wear them down. Ashe has enough range that they can just constantly poke down the turret and then use the volley to get out of there. But Gangplank actually forcing the initiation with the ultimate, and Xin jumping right onto Paradoxical. He's split from the rest of the team. The Fiddlesticks ult is a complete whiff, and the arrow back into Trooper along with the ult from Shyvana, able to get right in the middle of the team. Xin is dueling it with Ashe, though, will go down, but Xin is also very close to going down, and Zion Spartan is looking fine. Dynamic is able to take control of this fight. They're burst them down, try to chase after Gangplank, but there's the double kill for Akali, and now they can push. They can maybe take an inhibitor off of this.
I think they can, but the thing is, though, right now, Dynamic, they're just too focused down on kills. Ignite going down, Gangplank, they want that. Oracle's down, but I don't think they're going to get it. I think at this point, Dynamic's just having a little bit too much fun. 2Pro for you, still trying to duel with Pixel, just
support
feet away. Support fight. Support fight! Come on, support fight. Take down that Oracles. Pixel, you can do it.
Ready, fight!
Oh, there's the exhaust zone.
Oh, he's
Pixel
actually might have it.
This. Pixel,
one more Q.
One more Q. Something, anything. No, Fiddle is back. No. I wanted a support fight.
Yeah, I feel like Gangplank was cheating using the fountain so often, but Atlanta and Paradoxical, they're able to take down the turret. They can back off here. They need to back off here. So they will back off here. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, but Paradoxical? All right, so they're maybe just constantly harassing down Nick Wu. He's actually
it's working
kind of undecided, yeah.
It's really working because there's a lot of damage that Oriana has in that little...
Wow.
That's the best kiting I've seen all day.
That's really interesting. So, I mean, that's one of the strengths of Oriana that you don't really see a lot, is the fact that she can constantly disengage.
Oh, this
but
is bad.
the Shirelias, the raise morale. Atlanta, can he get out of there? The ultimate is actually slowing down Paradoxical as well. The arrow right into the middle of the enemy team. Atlanta, very close to going down, is actually able to clear it, but Paradoxical does go down, and there's not really a good escape path for Shyvana either.
That arrow, unfortunately, getting Gangplank in the face. There's the shutdown coming from Vlad. And after Gangplank got hit, he just had some oranges and it's K. And you know what? Baron should actually be coming up in just
it was
moment.
like a 21-minute Baron. So
there it is.
Oh, wow. All right,
Perfect
then.
timing.
That's that's pretty fortunate for them. In the meantime, Akali's actually pushing down the mid inhibitor, so they will have to worry about that kind of pressure. I'm not sure that Sona and Ashe can hold this off, though.
No, I'm pretty sure. Granted, Sona does have the ult, but Cleeks does have the vision. Wow, look at that ult. That's a lot of damage. And Nico actually dashing over the Baron pit wall, but there you go. Baron has been secured right now for Team Marn.
Zin's on the hunt.
He's got it. Oh, Zin, can Zin do it? Can Graves do it? Can someone do it?
I think Ashe might almost be able to suicide herself.
Will she be able to? Zig.
Oh,
no. Just not going to be able to make it,
Yeah, but they did get the inhibitor. The drain from clg.na taking down Pixel.
I forget how long the range on that thing
is.
is.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's really long.
And not to mention that, it's clg.na's got the right skin for it. Of course, you're getting drained as a party. Absolutely.
well,
then again, that's what happens to most people at parties. They get absolutely drained and they fall over.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm not sure that the issue was that Soda's been drinking too much, though. So,
no.
she's the DJ. She's been raving too hard.
A friend of mine actually did do a custom a DJ Sona artwork a long time ago. I was like, man, that should really be a skin. That really should be.
I mean, isn't that one of her main skins? Is that she's a DJ?
I know it's like a big I've seen a few community skins.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a few of those, and one of those needs to happen. It really does.
Yeah, no, community skins are just generally awesome for all of the characters that they're in.
Yep, it's just all the copyright stuff. Just thrown out the window. It's no big deal here. Okay.
I'm sure that a couple of rioters probably play with custom skins. They're not.
I'm sure of it.
I'm sure that they're not that concerned about
it. So you do have Marn. You do have Team Marn here with the Baron buff. It's going to be on them for another good about 2 minutes 30 seconds here, and then they still have the time to push their advantage, to try and push a lane, to try and get some objective. But remember though, during that whole last huge engagement, the mid inhibitor did go down. So if they're going to push mid, they're going to have a little bit of a tougher time doing so. And even then, tier 1 in mid, tier 1 in bot is actually still up. It's just kind of lost objectives. He just never got around to them. Yeah,
so we'll have to see. The big thing for Dynamic right now is they need to keep... Oh, wow. Actually, the ult from Zig hits Fiddle in the back line. Atlanta coming in. Ashe does go down almost immediately, though. Zin is very close to dying, does go down. Chuper as well, but Marn has actually won this fight. So really surprising initiation from Dynamic, and a quick win from Marn. Actually, the Paradoxical does go down.
There you go. clg.na still out in front, though, despite being taking an arrow to the face earlier on. But 2Pro4U out in front. Nice silence over the wall coming in from clg.na. Zionsword still in pursuit. And with the drain, Fiddlesticks manages to take that one. And then again, you also got Nick Wu with the ace, with the follow-up. All of Dynamic is going to be down. And this is where Team Marn shines. All this aggression paying off here.
Yeah,
they should definitely get an inhib off this.
Easy inhib. They might even get the Nexus off of this. They have enough time.
They would.
Ashe is very almost up. 5 seconds left, but the rest of them are so tanky. They're actually just going to go for it.
Yes, they're going to go for it. They're going to try and rush down the Nexus as quick as they can, straight up tanking both Nexus turrets. It's just that's the thing, though. Do they have the damage? 3, 2, 1. Now Shyvana is back up. clg.na being focused down will barely get out of there, draining from the minion just to stay alive. And here comes Shyvana. Will the second Nexus turret go down? Yes, it will, but clg.na is here with the ultimate. He didn't use it last time because he was stunned by the Ashe arrow, but there you go. Shutdown
they can keep chasing.
They can keep chasing, though. They can definitely try.
Ashe arrow's up.
Oh, thread the needle.
I can't believe she just missed that, but it doesn't matter. clg.na should be going down one more attack, and so Oh,
Whoa,
all right
wow.
then. So there's actually a kill.
I was thinking they're like, there's no way possible he's
it's
going
a
to be getting
3-second fear. Like that's how insane it is. But that I think that Fiddle Drain might have just saved them the game because Marn was about to lose this game. Like having 3 members go down, if Ash was still alive, a 5v2 situation, then Dynamic would be able to push and take the Nexus. And, like, there's no way that Marn would be able to stop them. So they were trying to force the Nexus down. They almost got it. But this almost turned around into a complete opposite turnaround. It still might, but I think they're okay. Both Graves and Gangplank are back up. So, yes, they are going to be okay. But even so, they're able to push out of the base. They're able to stall for a little bit. And it will be decided probably by the next fight. Whoever wins this next fight is basically going to win this game.
Just bum rush on through the base, take out the Nexus immediately. And, yeah, that could really be all she wrote. But I gotta think that right now someone from Team Martin, they have to be like kicking themselves, you know, it's like, why didn't I take teleport? Teleport would have been so good to have right now, just get right into the enemy base. But in the meantime, you do have Dynamic.
Oh, Sona's going down.
Sona, Pixel getting caught there. 2 Pro for you is there. Zion Spartan was recalling, wasn't paying attention, but there you go, you got the Hawk shot. Now there's a little bit of vision on Team Martin trying to go in, continue on for these kills.
Yeah, but they're just going to leave her alone, transition out of there. So they have a direct path right to the Nexus. They might actually just rush this. So they know that the fights are lasting long enough that they can just tank their damage. It's going to be tough, though. That would be such a risky play if they decided to actually legitimately rush the Nexus. We'll see if they're actually going to do that. It would be exciting to watch.
Well, I mean, if they can manage to pull it off, though, I mean, yeah, that's game. We'll be going to game number 3. But, yeah, it is a huge risk right now. But you got Dynamic. They are set up in defense for it. There are no towers right now for Dynamic to reasonably get to in safety. One good Fiddlesticks ult actually could even do it, and Gangplank does have his ult up as well. There's a raised morale, looking to get a little bit of a speed buff there, trying to make their engage, but now at this point it's just poke to poke.
Yeah, so they can hold them off here. The big thing is keeping Ash alive. And in all of these fights, Ash is going down almost instantly. So Ash needs to stay alive. Xin is absolutely crushing her. But if they can keep Ash alive, they'll have enough damage. But there's the raised morale. They're forcing this fight. Xin diving onto Ash, really quickly being bursted. But the flash out, and now Dynamic is in a great situation here.
Atlanta does go down to all of Marn. They swarmed around that dragon, but there's a Sona ult keeping 3 guys from Marn dancing. The Orianal is actually going to go ahead and keep Vlad occupied as well. You got Paradoxal going down to the tier 3 tower in bot just for a little bit of safety, but I think Trooper Make should be going down.
Oh, Vladimir, did he get it?
Up. He's got the Zonias. He's going to be safe, and right now the volley keeping him slow, but will he be able to stay alive? Pixel going down very quickly. Nicklo can't get that damage, but Zion Spartan with the dash right on through manages to get that kill. And now 2 Pro for you and Trooper are in retreat. How far did the Nexus go down?
I think Zion Spartan's going to get it.
He's hungry. He's hungry.
He's going to hit a minion. He's going to dash to a minion and then dash onto Vladimir.
1. Oh, the pool. Wait for it. There's 2. Is there going to be no? Do you got another kick ready? Now just comes up cooldown. The mark. He's got the mark. You should have vision. There you go. The Hawk shot. Clearing the wall just enough for that last kick from Akali.
Yeah, so they're going to be able to walk up and take an inhibitor, and again, another clearing fight. They're able to get out of there. Gangplank should be okay. Pixel chasing him for a while, but actually, they're going to want to back off. So Ash and Akali are here, but Xin is also walking down, so they need to watch out. They need to all group around that Baron.
Baron is up, and right now, Dynamic, they do have a little bit of position where they can go ahead and grab it. Nick Wu is still going to be down for a little while. Trooper's going to be down for a long while, and for now, it's Zig and Zion Spartan just doing what they can. Nice, right in the face of Xin Zhao. Just delay him a little bit.
I don't know if they have it.
Down. Baron still go down pretty quick. Can they manage to get it? There you go, dash in from Xin. Will he be able to steal it? Yes, he steals the Baron, and right now Dynamic's in retreat.
Yeah, and Zion Spartan is very low, but Kleek's right in the middle of the team. Ash is okay, actually eating away at him, very quickly wins that, and Ash's arrow is down, but Atlanta chasing him down. Paradoxical there as well, and 2 Pro for you goes down. It is a 5v2 situation. I thought Dynamic had just lost it when Xin came in. He had the Baron. If Zion Spartan had gone down as well.
I honestly thought so too. I really thought so, but that's the thing though, Xin.
The rest of their team wasn't there.
Yeah, the rest of the team wasn't there, and that's been a big problem too with Kleeks. He's going straight for the backline, straight to Ash, and for a time it was working, but now Dynamic knows just to sit back, wait for Zin to come in and then melt him.
When he was 8-0 and so far ahead that the game was his, it was working.
Right.
Now, not so much. And I'm a little bit surprised they're not actually rushing the Nexus here. 5v3, but still 2 inhibitors. That's a great situation. Oriana with the quick burst.
But they do have a Zoni's Hourglass on them.
It doesn't matter. They've got these skills.
And neither is that GA on Nick Wu. It's not going to matter a whole lot here either. He's going to be surrounded. He's going to come back. You can't leave. What are you doing? Ace coming in for Sona. Zin is back, rushing in, trying to be a hero. But Dynamic, I think they have all the position here. The minions are pushing.
The Ash arrow is up.
There it is. It's going right over Zin, I think. Just being cleared right past the dash. And there's the GP ult. Keeping everyone still. Not going to get any kills off that. Zig very low, though. The Ignite will actually finish off Ash. But there goes one Nexus turret. Dynamic is still looking for his push. 2Pro for you, trying to make something happen here. But heals coming on down from Soda, keeping everyone a little bit more healthy. Second Nexus turret goes down. And you know what? GP's the only one here to defend it for 15 seconds. This Nexus is going to go down, and I think that's going to be it. GG, and there you go. Dynamic taking the series 2-0.
Yeah, really nice play from both teams, or at the very least, entertaining play from both teams. I thought MRN had it. I thought they'd be able to pick it up, but clg.na, he was just so impressive early on, but wasn't able in the late game to get any ults off. So they didn't have a coordinated fight where Fiddlesticks was in the center. So as a result, they were able to just focus down Zin because there was no other pressure from the rest of their team. So yeah, we'll have to see if we can see MRN again in the future. But
with him actually here.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun match.
Without an issue with his car trying to get to the land center.
Yeah, that's true.
But still, though, entertaining nonetheless. I love watching Team MRN play. They really are just a fantastic group of entertainers. And yeah, that was fun.
And Zin in the top lane.
And Zin in the top lane, doing great.
That's going to be happening a whole lot more.
Fiddle in the jungle.
It's a shame that there wasn't a fiddle in the middle.
It's a shame, yeah.
And a middle in the fiddle, and the fiddle in the middle with Fid.
Vlad doesn't really rhyme as well.
No, he doesn't.
No, unfortunately not.
I have no idea how the song goes. You just say fiddle in the middle over and over again, I guess.
You could, but then again, I don't think it's going to be really chart-topping at any rate. But next week, we got a lot of fun stuff. We're going to have a new tournament starting next Tuesday, I believe. More details, I think, either coming out tomorrow or Monday. So do stick around. Make sure you always keep up to date with us. Plus, also, if you're not a fan of us on Facebook, please do so, because over the next few days, we actually got a nice little raffle going on, giving away 3 $10 RP cards. You want to get in on this. I mean, it's free RP if you win it. You might as well go ahead and put yourself in the running. So do check us out there at IGN Pro League. Same thing on Twitter as well. And then we had some pretty good YouTube stuff go up lately.
Yeah, no, definitely. As we talked about earlier, a look at the life of Curse, the life and times that, Curse High, or I don't know. But,
Curse High.
I don't know. Yeah, regardless, there it is. Dynamic, just barely being able to eke it out. But yeah, 2-0 over MRN. It was a fun series.
It was really fun. Thanks again for all of the teams that actually played in all of our show matches this week. Some of them on pretty short notice, some of them a little bit disorganized, and some of them completely way out there. Actually, if you saw at the beginning of the week, we had a Curse and MTW, kind of like a little rematch from our qualifiers, and everyone's just like, we want an ARAM. So we did ARAM.
So we did an
ARAM. So do all the VODs, they're up on the YouTube. Check them out. We also got our rebroadcast coming on over through here. But yeah. I think for now we're pretty much done here. Enjoy the weekend. We will see you next week, guys. Good night.